Nerdcast assemble!
Stay dandy, baby. The Misfit of Demon King Academy sure does seem like it's leading up to one hell of a finale, and that's no truer than in the latest episode of the series, where we get a massive revelation and the true identity of none other than Avos Dilhevia. And yes, I know that this review is a little late. It certainly has nothing to do with the fact that I've been playing Super Mario 3D All-Stars all weekend. So let me go ahead and give you a big old fat spoiler warning. If you haven't watched this episode, go check it out and come back to this review. And let me just go ahead and pull that confetti string, because one of my predictions actually came true. It looks like Lei is none other than the true reincarnation of the legendary hero Canon. Yes, I can hear it from the rooftops. Corey, you were right. You made a prediction, and it came true. That so rarely happens, and that's why I'm excited about it. Otherwise, this was a crazy episode of the series, which is honestly escalating a little too fast in my opinion. It almost feels like they're desperately trying to get to a finale of the season, and I don't feel as if it was fully earned, to be perfectly honest. I mean, there's a lot that goes down in this episode and a lot to unpack, so let's go ahead and just take a look at all of it. So picking up from the end of the last episode, all of the assholes from the Hero Academy got their asses spanked because Anos and his team showed that the demons are way better than the heroes. And essentially we get the big confirmation that Elenore is some sort of weird, freaky embodiment of magic, which is constantly creating all of these clones, which actually exist in this Hero Academy, and whenever one gets wiped out, they come back. It's basically a Hydra-like spell. You cut off one head, two more come back. And it's kind of weird and it's kind of freaky. And it's also the big confirmation about the real death of Canon. Apparently he was actually killed by Jurga, because Jurga's name is Jurga, and that sounds like jerk. Basically, he's a dick. He killed the hero. Not exactly a good look. And while all of this is going on, suddenly we get the arrival of Diego again. Apparently that one before maybe was a clone. Maybe this is another brand new clone that was created through the magic of Elenore. But basically they're there to stir up some shit when suddenly the other demon lords appear. One that we haven't seen before, and they totally live up to the title. They got horns, they look devilish, they look freaking evil. And they're all led by Avos Dilhevia, who basically ends up stirring up the shit pot and getting ready to basically announce a massive war against all of humanity. You see how all of this is kind of insane? They don't give you sort of like any time to sort of drink this in. Basically, it's like Eleanor's magic, clones are created, and a war begins. And the rest of the episode is basically just a massive like war going on between the demons and the humans, Avos Dilhevia, who basically wants to make all of the humans his personal bitch in this big war. And we do get some massive war scenes of watching all the characters come together and battle, and it's all well and good, but really it's more of a build-up to that final moment, that big confrontation that we've all been waiting to see between Anos and Avos. And not only is it really interesting in the fact that Avos can actually stand a bit of a chance against Anos, but it's the big reveal that he is indeed none other than Lei. And I don't know how he's been pulling this off, how he's been doing this behind the scenes, using the puppet mastery and pulling the strings. I don't know what his deal is, but it was a nice little twist, because I knew that there was going to be something about his character with the fact that clearly he was a reincarnation of either Shin or Canon, which is officially revealed to be Canon in this episode. That and the fact that they keep just sort of building him up, his relationship with Misha, which at this point is bordering on romantic. I mean, it's very obvious the two characters are into one another, but then it's that big final scene at the end, the big reveal of who he truly is and why he's even doing it in the first place. He's been reincarnated into this brand new form, and I'm essentially thinking that maybe after being killed by the humans, he doesn't like them very much, which is why he's decided to declare war against them in the first place. Of course, Anos is probably not going to stand for this, to see the essential sort of like corruption of who his like true only friend really was from back in the day, and a human nonetheless here. And this also explains why he's able to use holy weapons as well as demon weapons, because he's a human who is reincarnated as a demon. He can go on both sides of the fence, so to speak. So basically this episode is all a massive build up to that twist, and it's got me really excited to see what the big finale of the season is going to be all about. And I really hope that it's the finale of a season and not of a series, because there's just so much more for the Misfit of Demon King Academy. They have not scratched the magical surface of this series. So, what's the rundown on this episode of the Misfit of Demon King Academy? A little bloated, I have to admit. This is an episode that is just filled with so much crap going on that honestly it made me feel kind of drunk by the end of it. There's a lot of details here, and all that magical jargon just keeps getting thrown out at you, and you know, they don't explain the magical jargon all that much. They just sort of like throw it out like, you know, you're supposed to understand what this means. So it's the type of episode that begs rewatching, if only to truly understand what's going on here. Like, I completely forgot about like all the Elenore stuff by the end of the episode, especially with the big reveal of Lei actually being Avos Dilhevia, the fact that he's actually canon, the reincarnated hero. And the way that they actually explained it did make sense at the end, but everything that came before was just an absolute blur of magic and fire and swords and ridiculousness that honestly, it's just insane. Now, it didn't take away from my hype of this episode, as there were certainly some really great moments here. It just feels kind of undeserved, in my opinion. I feel like it's all just happening way too fast, and like I said, it feels like they're sort of leading up to a finale that shouldn't be happening quite yet. Of course, it makes sense why they're doing this. They want to build up hype for the big finale of the season, but still, that's just my personal thoughts on the episode. Yours may differ, and for people who actually read the manga / light novel, whatever you want to friggin' call it, you might end up really enjoying this episode. But again, the pacing of the Misfit of Demon King Academy has always been lightning fast, to say the least, so it's really like not that big of a shock for the series. It's just we've never had an episode with this much going on in it. I really like the more slower episodes of the Misfit of Demon King Academy, as I think it highlights the characters, their strengths and their weaknesses, and of course their character arcs just a little stronger than when they're just deciding to do all this weird Wingardium Leviosa bullshit, where they constantly just throw all this stuff at you. I always feel that sort of weakens the overall experience. Again, it doesn't take away the entertainment value, though. The characters are still really fun and crazy and well-designed, and are really fun, and really, I just can't wait to see what this like season is going to end with Avos and, or it's really, I should say Lei, with Lei and Anos having like their big battle that they've really been wanting to have for a long time. I have a feeling, though, that, you know, Lei is going to be saved by Anos. He's not going to kill him. He's going to somehow bring him back to the light side of the Force, so to speak. So I can't wait to see what that's going to be about. Otherwise, I liked this episode. I just felt that it was a little too damn fast, and there was a lot of stuff thrown out that was kind of confusing. Otherwise, pretty solid episode for the series. Man, I'm excited to see how the entire season is going to end, so I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. Check it out, guys. I'd love to get your thoughts about the episode, and you can tell me all of them in the comments section below what you hope to see from the final episode of the season of The Misfit of Demon King Academy. I've been talking like this is the final episode of the season. I'm pretty sure that it is going to be. I've done a little bit of research, and they said it's only going to be like a 13-episode season. Maybe there is going to be more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys want to see more. Let's discuss all of that, the future of the series, what you thought about this episode, all of it, comment section below. You know the drill. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you did like it, use your magical abilities, hit that like button. It helps out this video a lot. It also ensures that more people can see my content as it's released. In fact, if you are already subscribed, make sure you're hitting that little bell notification icon. It's actually going to tell you when my videos are released, at least according to YouTube. I would also like to thank all of my patrons who have been I would also like to thank all of my patrons who have been making some very nice donations through my Patreon page and giving me feedback on the channel. Remember, first-time donators, I will review an anime series of your choice. I have another Patreon review, which is going to be coming up very soon, and trust me, you guys want to check that one out, as well as adding your name to this list of amazing people. Thank you guys so much for your awesome donations. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.